This right here is the pre-footage. I like the idea of doing a little warm up, giving you an idea of why we're about to get in, we're going to get into. Pause. But once again, we chilling. Super focused on those filler words. Those filler words. Conniption, kinship, gotta love it. That purple stuff been keeping me in a great place. Love a little evening martini, especially when you got vibes like this.
Wow.
Gotta love it. So, we keeping it classy once again, man. Pinkies is up. I couldn't drink a drink with such a vibe. I thought that pinky up. Delicious. All right, so today, picking back up from yesterday, but pivoting. What we talked about yesterday was more from a personal aspect. And again, this is the pilot before the pilot. This is an opportunity for me to reintroduce myself to everyone. I don't share a lot of personal details, but this will be different. This is the G podcast. The unique thing about G is perspective. I'm an open book, yet at the same time, I'm very careful with who I share what with. So a lot of what I speak about is from a place of retrospective thought, reflecting on things that I can't change, and trying to figure out how to use those to make me better in the future. One of those key F's. So that's how I'm approaching this. And as I introduce myself to everyone, I started going down that personal path, but I'm approaching this from the standpoint of a trinity: personal, professional, creative. That's the framework. So many different frameworks. I'm not saying that you can't reshape it or call it whatever, but that's the framework. So personal, professional, creative. The next pilot before a pilot, it's the pilot before a pilot. I got to even get my own title straight. The next one, though, will focus on the creative side of the Trinity. Today, we're going to focus on the professional side. Now, I do want to be honest. I don't consider myself a quote unquote professional. I don't consider myself to be anything special as it relates to my professional career. However, I think it is unique. And what is unique is that I'm very happy with where I am today. And I know for a fact that where I am today professionally, which aligns personally, I wouldn't be here without the decisions I made in the past. The compounding of free will. is key. All of your decisions add up over time. You can't necessarily predict what they'll add up to, but if you keep making deposits,
No.
that one up. If you keep making deposits, you're going to be able to cash out at some point. Okay. For me, I want to share what that was like from my experience, not suggesting that it will be the same for yours. But I do know that the way I approach my professional life may be different than how you approach yours. So I want to share that. And if we just briefly go back to the prior episode, that foundation of the most important decision that you can make, that I have made, everything is built off of who I chose to partner with. I was so big on that because careers, your professional life, one of the things that is just a reality is that most people professionally, they don't necessarily study what they do currently. They didn't necessarily study what they do currently. It doesn't always line up. Where you often end up professionally, you don't see it coming. That's very common for a lot of individuals. But yet, not only is that true from my perspective, as it relates to professional life, that is often the thing that people prioritize the most with their actions. They go after that career or whatever that thing is. And so I want to talk about that because these decisions have a huge impact on everything, especially those 5 F's. You are at the center of that equation, and I think your professional life, hopefully, is a resource to enhance the theme of this podcast. Does your professional life put you in a position to spend more time with your family? Or if it's not even time, whatever it is for you, which is something we'll discuss, does it give you that for your family? Does it allow you the opportunity to experience that same thing with your friends? Of course, everyone's not showing up just because it's free. So the finance part, that's an obvious. There's a price for everything. But what's the price for choosing a certain career? There's opportunity costs there as well. When it comes to freedom, that's another big thing as well, because depending on your career, you may be restricted to certain hours of the day, certain parts of the world. You just may have to live a lifestyle built around your career in a way where you don't necessarily exercise your freedoms in the same way. And lastly, as it relates to your future, what are you working for, right? This is how we make a living. Everyone has to make a living some sort of way. And so if your profession isn't helping set your sails in a way where your ship is moving where it needs to move in the future, what are we doing? What are we doing? I like this little idea of the pre-episode. Cheers. Oh man, sorry. Pinky. Delicious. Purple drink. Conniption Kinship. Shout out to the Durham Distillery. Also, shout out to Corpse Reviver. Y'all had a crazy list of cocktails with the purple drink. Definitely ran up the tab there. Gotta love that conniption. All right, so I think we about ready to get into this. This is just the pre-episode, but that's a little idea of why we of what we want to talk about and why. Who knows where the conversation will go. You might be like, this is talking about conversations and it's just him. Telling you, this is some unique G shit, all right? I'm like Doctor Strange. I got like multiple. I don't know what to tell you, man. All right, so we're going to take a pause, empty that clip, and we'll be right back to discuss this idea of your professional life, and I'll share in more detail how my experience professionally helped me get to this point where we are today. This is the G Podcast. This is the G Shit Podcast. Yeah, yay. All right, that's that. If I do the pre-show and the show every single time, that's a Tuesday and Thursday drop. Or a Thursday, Friday drop. Or a back-to-back, twice a week drop. Not same day, so it'd be like picking my nose on camera. Yeah.